One thing I found, my God will work it out. Well, we jazz it up a little bit, so we're gonna do a little different. Y'all ready? He's gonna work it out. Yes, he will. Before I knew my name and before I drew a breath, oh, he was making ways for me. Now and every day, and in each and every step, oh, he is making ways for me. My heart is full of doubt. Feels like my faith is running out. I'm too far to turn around. I know that God will work it out. God will work it out. One thing I know, one thing I found. My God will work it out. Work it out. Watch your money works it out. Work it out. Watch your money works it out. Work it out. Watch your money works it out. Work it out. Watch your money works it out. I've been pushing past the fear. I've been fighting to believe. Oh, he's making ways for me. Yeah. And he won't let me down. No, he'll never ever leave. No, he's still making ways for me. He's still making ways. My heart is
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Distant Traumas. I'm your host, Lisa Styles. Thank you for tuning in. I pray everyone had a safe and blessed week. If you haven't said a prayer, take a minute to say a prayer because prayer does changes things. All right. Let's get into it. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about Delusional, aka the Jerker, part 2. I only was going to do a part 2, but it's going to actually have to be broken down into 3 segments. It's actually need to be more segments, but I'm just going to read a few of the letters from the Jerker to give you a better insight of what I deal with on a daily basis when it comes to dealing with a narcissist, a manipulator, a gaslighter. When they do something to you and then they try to manipulate you because of your response. Just to give you a little insight of the Sour Patch Kid that I was telling you that he acts like in this situation. Just to give you a refresher, this is my cousin that's doing a 75-year bid for doing a BNA, being the driver of a crime where a young lady lost her life. And I was the only one in the family that was supporting him financially, emotionally, spiritually. And he then decided that he wanted to be in a relationship with me. He started jerking off at my pictures. And then he told me that he was jerking off at my pictures, knowing that I'm already dealing with emotional damage from being touched when I was a child by family members, and one was being his youngest brother. And he said he doesn't care that I'm married. He wants to be with me even after death. And because I denied this and I don't want any parts of that, and I didn't give him any reason of thinking that I wanted it, he then decides to call me all type of names, threaten me, threaten my husband, send disturbing letters, and all of the above. So let's start this thing off. I'm going to read you his response after I told him to stop telling me that he was jerking off at my pictures. Now, the reason why I said stop telling me is because, let's be real, he's been in prison since he was, 20? And he's almost 50. So, let's be honest here. That's literally all he really has, for real. If he's not having sexual intercourse with the men in prison, which he said he's not, He said he had a few sexual intercourses with some of the guards, but it's not like I can break into jail and take my pictures back. I can't. The damage is done. So regardless of what you're doing, just don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't need to know about it. But I'm glad that he did tell me, because now all of this has surfaced, and I was on his home plan, meaning once he got out of prison, because he's up for parole, he would have been in my home. So I'm glad that he did tell what he was doing and what he was thinking, because if he had came into my home, he would have tried to rape me, take advantage of me. So I'm glad that he did bring it to surface. But it's just the fact that I don't want to hear about it. Like, it's disgusting. Like, I just don't. I don't need to hear about your nasty rendezvous or what you thinking about doing to my picture and all of that. That's just disgusting. And I guess his mother is mad at me because I'm speaking out about it. I don't know, but you would thought that she would at least call to say, hey, you know, I want to apologize for my son's actions. I want to apologize for him because you took the time to call me to tell me, oh, thank you for being there for my son. You're the only one that's been there for him. And I do apologize for, you know, not giving you any help or whatever. I don't know what you're apologizing for that, because whatever I was doing for him was out of the kindness of my heart. So I really don't understand why she said that. I really don't. But I just at least thought she would have called to say, hey, I heard what my son did and I'm sorry, because you have been the only family member here for him. And, you know, and it's disturbing, you know, to have a family member. This guy is kin to me double. Like, he's my first and second cousin. Like, that's crazy. And to know that I was already dealing with what I was dealing with, cleaning up what happened to me when I was a little girl. And like I said, he was there through it all. He was there from the beginning. And that's what makes it more disturbing, because you was there from the beginning. So you seen and you knew what I was going through, but yet you still did this. You still decided to tell me this here. Like, what did you think I was going to do with this information? But anyway, as I said, this is the first letter from his response from me telling him to stop telling me that he's jerking off at my pictures. And this was sent on February 28th, 2025 at 9:26 through his JPay. And it says, let me say this. I'm not sure if by me telling you I understand your situation, as far as the lady saying you're a pervert makes the situation where you told me you jerk off at my one pic. Okay, this is my letter to him. So I'm going to continue to read this. If I knew what you was going to do with that, I wouldn't have sent it to you. By me telling you, I understand why you did it, because you are in prison and you're not gay. Doesn't take away the fact that it's creepy and it's not right. I've tried to give you the benefit of the doubt because of your situation, but you knowing what has happened to me by other family members and outsiders doesn't compare to you getting ass touched by the Pink Bandit. The Pink Bandit is one of our cousins, and we call him Pink Bandit because he's very light skinned, and he used to put his butt on them when he was kids, and his butt was pink. I would rather you have told me, but I'm glad you did. Also, just because I was touched didn't make me a freak. That's two separate things. Also, me telling you about the lust demon was to let you know what I have been battling with. And that's not a planned matter. Also, I cannot constantly send you pics of people. Those stamps cost. He wanted me to send him different pics of girls that he dated and people from school because he wanted to see what they look like now. And if I run out of stamps, I'm not putting more on there anytime soon. I need you to stop taking light of certain situations we have, especially when it's dealing with my childhood or mental. I can't keep giving people the benefit of the doubt when that only puts my feelings in the corner. For future reference, when I sent you the Puerto Rico pic, I only sent that to make a point about big girls and being able to be sexy because we are having a conversation about 300 and plus women. So please do not tell me again what you're doing with that pic. I'm not sending you any more pictures of me because it doesn't make me feel good knowing you look at me in that way. I tried to overlook it, but it really bothers me. Hopefully, by me telling you, you will respect my wishes because this isn't a laughing matter. Now, as I said, that's my letter that I sent him. I thought it was his letter that he sent me, but that's my letter that I sent him. And this is his response to that letter. He sent this at February 28th, 2005 at 6:44, so it was the same day. He says, I believe being honest with you was a mistake. I only told you those things because I thought you was the one person that will understand about the Mexico pic. You understand. About the Mexico pic, you sent me a pic of you in a one-piece bikini with a see-through black lace gown over top your big round ass and thighs. And as pretty as you are, then to add gas on the field, you had the nerve to have your fat ass tongue sticking out. You sent that pic to a man that has been locked up for over 2 decades in prison. What the fuck do you think I was going to do seeing that pic? Now, the pic wasn't what he was saying. It wasn't a one-piece bikini. You can't have a one-piece bikini. A bikini is a two-piece. It was a one-piece bathing suit that I had on, an undergarment, and I had a sheer lace cover-up over it. Yes, I walked around Puerto Rico like that. Excuse you, I was with my husband. The picture that he's referring to with my tongue out, I'm taking a funny pose with my husband, and my husband is the one that's taking a picture. So if my husband felt that what I had on was a little bit too provocative, I don't think he would have allowed me to walk around. And yes, I say allowed because that is my husband. And I'm not going to do anything outside of our home that's going to make my husband look some type of way because my husband's not that type of man. So no, my husband wouldn't allow me or want me to walk around with my body parts hanging out. That's not the type marriage we have. So when I say allow, don't take that the wrong way to say, oh, he's making her do this and making her do that type of allow. No. So that's what he's referring to, that picture. And the only reason why I sent that picture is because we was having a conversation about 300-pound women. They don't look sexy. They too big to look like this. They too big to be wearing this. So I had to prove him wrong because at that point in my life, I was 300 pounds and I looked damn good. But anyway, moving on. You are lucky I didn't ask you to send me a poster of that pic. For real, let's be honest. Every man on the planet would beat their dick on that pic. So stop with that. If you knew that I was going to jerk off on the pic, you would have never sent it. Why would I think you would jerk off at my picture? Huh? No. I was going to jerk off on the pic, you would have never sent it. You know damn well that the average 300-pound woman don't look like you. And I told you when you sent that pic, you set me up as pretty as you are with all that ass and thighs in that bikini. And then you have the nerve to have your tongue out. Well, I guess I'm a pervert and a creep for jerking off the pic. But we was talking about, I'm not going to call this young lady's name, that we was talking about, but it's a young lady that we went to school with, and he wanted a picture of her pic. And you said you was going to send me a pic. You asked me to be honest with you on what I thought, and that it wasn't going to hurt your feelings, because you said, I know I look good and I can have any man I want. Right. But it wasn't in the reference of you jerking off at my picture or you seeing me sexually in that manner. But anyway, so I was honest about how that one pic made me feel. About the disorder that I was told I suffer from is a bad thing and isn't a laughing matter. I was scared and embarrassed to tell you. Scared and embarrassed. I'm sorry, this is really small because it's on my phone. Hold on, y'all. I lost my place. I was scared and embarrassed to tell anyone, but I felt like I could trust you. And in every email, you laughed, joked, and called me a pervert. I don't get upset because I know you have good intentions and you was someone that could understand and help me deal with it. And I'm sorry if I made you feel bothered or creepy. That won't happen again. I will delete all your pictures Monday, and I would never ask you to send me a picture of you or anyone else again. I would figure it out. You are right. I shouldn't have told you anything, but I was trying to be honest with you, good or bad. But I'm sorry, and you don't have to worry about me telling you anything that is going on with me. Also, I would just keep everything to myself. You always ask me what I think about certain things, whether it's good or bad, and I always give you my honest opinion and how I feel. You told me about all your sexual encounters and how you was touched and your battles with your demon thing. I was honest with you. You was a desire. I was honest with you. You have a desire about you that is hard for any man not to look at you differently, including family. So it wasn't shocking that the family members looked at you this way, including me. And it's not right, but it's true and real. And I thought by being honest with you, it would give you answers why these things happen. And I know it's not a laughing matter, but it was just between me and you, and laughing and thinking about it helps you heal. But from now on, don't ask me any personal questions, and I will keep my thoughts to myself. And as far as me lusting of your pics or looking at you differently, instead of keeping quiet about it or you hearing that I jerked off at your pic, I thought that being completely honest with you about how that pic really made me feel was only right. And I'm sorry I feel that way about you. It's not right. It's not even worse being locked up for decades without a woman, then receive a pic like that is a torture for me to resist, and it's a torture now. I can't unfeel the way I feel. And you know that when you sent that pic, I did apologize several times for how I felt and what it did. It's not you that I'm lusting off of. It's the pic that I don't look at. I don't look at your pic that way, and you told me that it was okay. Just don't mention that I jerk off at your pic in the book I'm writing. Huh? The method to the madness or anything. So you know months ago, me telling you this affected you or bothered you. Why not say, so we had to talk about with the money issue. If it's something I do or say bothers you, then tell me. Don't give me the benefit of the doubt or let it go by because you understand my situation of being in prison. If that's the case, then don't say nothing. Don't let it go on. Wait until months later to say something. But you have the right. I'm creepy. I'm a dick and the hard-ass pervert. And you don't have to ever send me any more pics of you again or anything else. I will never mention anything to you about your appearance or anything involving you sexually. And please don't ask my opinion on anything involving you because I can't be honest with you and I don't want to tell you something and later you tell me not to tell you, or something I've said or was honest about bothered you or affect you mentally. I wish you never told me that your brother touched you. But I supported you and I believe you because you was honest with me and you trusted me enough to tell me without me judging you or accusing you of lying, no matter how bother I was by you telling me. You knew the pic that you knew that pic with the bikini on and see-through lace gown would drive any man crazy in prison. That's how off the chain you look in the picture. It seems like nothing to you or a average dude in the streets, especially when you have a sex whenever you want. But to someone like me that have been behind the walls for 20 years, that picture is just like sex. It's got everything in it that a man's dreams about in prison. Bikini, feet out, tongue out, big ass, thick thighs out, and a pretty face. And I'm just being real. For example, if I told you I jerked off on something like your wedding pic, then yeah, that's creepy. I asked you for more wedding pics, then that's the issue. But you have the right to feel like you feel, and I respect that, and I'm sincerely sorry. I have caused problems with everyone, and now you. I think it's best that I don't call you, and I don't want to make you feel worse by talking to me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to fall back from everyone and everything. Then I won't cause any more problems. Okay, sure. So, this is my response to him. This was at 7 p.m. on the same day, February 28th. I said, you know what? You also find a way to try and turn what the fuck I say, and I'm just trying to be honest with you about everything as you said you was going to do with me. Yes, I laughed about the pervert stuff because that's completely different from me feeling a certain way. I can't help how it makes me feel. And FYI, not every man thinks a 300 pound woman is sexy, even if her tongue is out. Second, I'm so fucking tired of explaining myself to you about my feelings, and you try to make it seem as if I shouldn't have feelings. But I'm done. Delete whatever you want. I don't fucking care. Goodbye. Okay. Now, let me find number. I have these all numbered out, and it's on my phone. Okay, this is from him. This is letter number 4. This is on March the 1st at 5:44 p.m. Well, I see the old Felicia has surfaced. All that fuck this and that bullshit about you are done. That shit don't faze me. Newsflash, you little hateful mean bitch. I'm not a bitch ass nigga that you think you can say whatever you want to. So when you email me, watch your fucking mouth. I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to, and now we are both fucked up mentally. We are both in this battle together. So pull your fucking big girl panties. If you don't want me to tell you about your pics, I'm cool with that. And I appreciate your honesty, but you still is going to send me the pics I asked you to send me, and that's just what the fuck it is. I'm a pervert, and heifer, you is my therapy. And if my demons bother you, you do what you said. You overlooked it, but I do want you to tell me how you are feeling. I may speak on shit, but I would never downgrade your feelings. So all that you are tired of explaining yourself to me about your feelings, and you don't fucking care bullshit, bitch. Are you serious? And don't put that shit on me, because I always take your feelings in the highest regards, even when it doesn't involve me. And when it does, I always apologize to you. And trust me, I don't apologize to no fucking body. Even when I'm wrong, I stand on shit. And I would rather fight than apologize. And maybe I'm a little rough around the edges and I don't give you the response you are looking for. That don't mean I'm not listening to you or respecting what's bothering you. I'm just a little desensitized. And I know that the pics make you uncomfortable. And by you telling me that, I'm not tell you about, that's fine and acceptable. But still send me the pics and let me work through it. And eventually I will be able to figure it out. I would appreciate you more because even though what was doing didn't sit right with you, you still stood by me. I'm not saying that you have to be silenced, but I want you to be honest with me. That's what's gonna help me. Even when you joke me or laugh about it, it helps me heal. This place has mentally, emotionally, and sexually damaged me, but I'm getting through it. You put yourself there, buddy. And with you saying that you are done, that's a portion for you, and we're gonna be linked forever, whether you like it or not. Oh, he said an option for you or not, and we get that in your fucking big ass head. Okay. I know you be on, I'm gonna do this, what's best for me, and put myself first, and that's good for you. But that shit don't fly with me. I don't mind being sensitive to your problems, but I also will straighten your punk ass when you try to talk that shit to me. And I don't fucking care if you don't like it. Deal with it. And before I go, I want to say this. I'm not going to delete any of your pics, and you're not going to talk about any of your pics and what I do with them or think, but you will send me the pics I'm fucking asked you to send. And I'm telling you this is because I'm being petty. And if you buck, then I will continue to beef and fight until we are mentally retarded. I expect to receive pics no later than Thursday. And FYI, you are right. Every man don't want a 300-pound woman. But every man in here wanted your 300-pound ass. I showed over 100 dudes in here your pics, and every one of them wanted to rent out your picture. I was offered all kinds of money, no cap. So you can downplay it all you want and make excuses, but the truth is you are a sexy bitch. Period. Big or small. And your pics is a gold mine in here. The only thing dudes was mad about was that they could see your toes. That they couldn't see your toes. Because one of the long lace gowns wouldn't show your other Mexico pic. You had your toes out in the other one, but I didn't want to be asked so many questions. And besides, I'm mad with you. So fuck your toes. But niggas are still asking me for your pic. I told them I deleted you off my player and that you was just some chick I met in prison pen pals. Baby girl, I'm going to curse you out. I'm going to argue with you. I'm going to do the say shit that pisses you off. But one thing I'm never going to do is abandon you. I'm never going to stop speaking to you. I'm never going to stop loving you. I'm going to always be there for you. Whether I'm in prison or out. If you don't feel the same, then oh fucking well. And if you don't have nothing nice to say to me, then don't email me back. I'm sorry and I love you. That will 1000% never change. So no matter how much we argue or how mad you make me, you mean the world to me. Okay. This is from me, March the 2nd, 7:09 a.m. I'm not reading all that bullshit. I'm a bitch. Oh, wow. Well, I'll be that bitch. And I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. But like I said, fuck it and fuck you. You are going to call me a bitch because I told you jerking off at my pics makes me feel. So you're blocked and do not write me again. Leave me the fuck alone. And that's all in capital letters. Whatever else you say in that letter, I don't care. And I don't care. And I don't give a fuck. Because you don't take shit serious. And my mental is way more important than anyone. So, Hope. I'm not going to call this young lady's name out loud. Hope Blank and your sister and your mom can control and help you, because I'm not anymore. You can't value my feelings, then fuck you. You think everything is a fucking joke, and if you write back, I will not be reading it. I'm done. And this is what I also sent as well. And for you to show other guys my pics proves to me exactly my point. Why would you even do that? That's a clear violation on me trusting you with my pics, and that's not cool. But if I have to call the prison to tell them you're passing around my pics, then that's what I would do. Okay. Now, I'm going to fast forward because I have received other letters in between there, but this is when it gets really interesting. I'm going to read part 1 of this letter, and then I'm going to be ending the podcast. No, I might read, let me see how long part 2 is. Okay, I'll read part 1 and part 2 of these 2 last letters. And then I will end this podcast here, and then I will do part 3 tomorrow. Okay. This was sent on March the 3rd at 9:53. Lisa, I'm not sure if you will get this or not, but I can't keep doing this. And I thought I would be fine, but I'm not. If it's crushing me inside, especially knowing that I not only hurt you emotionally, but I also mentally. So I got to stop this now, and whatever happens from there, I can live with. I intentionally and purposely snapped on you and cursed you out. I did it to push you away. Why it started when I wasn't able to be on Tag or the other freak sites. I started having the session and the information for you, not to just jerking off on your pics. I mean having urges and thoughts about how many positions I wanted to fuck you in. And remember I told you how I wanted to eat someone's ass with a jelly donut? It was your ass I was talking about eating. And the feeling got so bad, I was beating my dick 5 to 6 times a day off your pics. I tried to stop myself by feeling this way, but I couldn't go a day without talking to you on the phone over and over until you had to tell me to not call back. And the reason why I asked you for other people's pics, like the girls I went to school with or used to mess with, because I thought that would help me from thinking about fucking you. But none of those monsters worked. So I figured if I tell you that I was jerking off of your pics, you will go off on me, and that will help me stop knowing that we were family. But you was cool about it, and you told me to not tell you about it because you understood I was in jail. That's not literally what I said. I explained what I meant and what I said. But anyway, of course, people would take that and run with that and only get out what they wanted to get from what you said. Okay? So I panicked. I kept asking you to send me pics of you because I figured eventually the feelings would fade off, and it helps me not to ask you to have phone sex with me. Shit like that. Your pics was working until you emailed me and told me you wasn't going to send me any more of your pics. And I knew I had to do something that I didn't want to do. I thought that if I cursed you out, and here goes part 2. Cursed you out and call you all types of bitches, that you would block me. and be done with me. I also thought that you might catch on because I never call you a bitch or curse at you, and we had arguments before, especially with the money issue. But you didn't. But you didn't. I, in fact, pushed the right buttons. But you did, didn't I? In fact, push the right buttons, and I messed up because I hurt more than your feelings. And when you mention your mental health and how I took it as a joke, it devastated me and crushed me. I have been dying inside, sweetie. So I had to tell the exact truth and deal with the consequences. So I don't know what it is, but it's more than the lust. It's more than me being locked up. I want you bad, and I want to fuck you so bad that I can't stop these feelings. I go up for parole and have a 50-50 chance of coming home, and I didn't want to bring this to you. I would never allow it to interfere with your life or your relationship, but I also know that it's not going to stop me from wanting you sexually. I'm so sorry, Lisa. I hope you can forgive me, and I was scared to talk to you, and I tried to talk to my therapist here, but they was asking too many questions, so they just diagnosed me with having a jerking off problem. But it wasn't that, because I only jerked off to your pics and nothing and everything dealing with you. I would rather have you as my sister, my cousin, my friend, than not to have you, because I'm having this obsession over you. I can understand if you hate me. I hate myself. I can understand if you're not talking to me, but please consider not abandoning me. You are my emergency contact. They can't change that from the computer, and they have to not block me in case something and you have to not block me in case something happens. You are also my home plan. You can't change that unless I make parole. Then they will call you, and then you have to refuse to allow me to stay with you. If you say no and I can't find no one else, then they will keep me in prison for an extra 60 days until they can send me to a halfway house. And 3, you can't delete me from your JPay. You are my financial supporter, not my mom, not the young lady. I'm not going to call her name. You have been for about 45 years now. So just because you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. You still will support me and add money to my account. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you, I'm just saying this is what you signed up for. I miss you. I miss hearing your voice. I miss hearing your laugh. I miss my sister. I miss my cousin. I miss my friend. I miss my baby girl. I love you, ashy ass, so much. I want you to stay sweet. Just know I always love you, and that will never change. So I will always be there for you, even if it's from afar. It's not your fault, and you did nothing wrong. Please forgive me for how I treat you, always. Now, I was a correction officer. I was also a deputy sheriff. You cannot tell me that information cannot be deleted, because it can. So that's by far bullshit. But as I said, I'm going to end that here. And I will pick up tomorrow with part 3. It may have to be more parts to this, because I kind of want to read more of his letters to go into deeper depth of his mental and the back and forth with the good letters, the bad letters, the tearing me down, the picking me up, tearing me down. I just want to go into deeper details to show you the mental capacity that he's on, and the narcissist that he is, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the backpedaling. It is insane. This is a different level of delusion. I've never seen anything like this before. But every ending of my podcast, I always leave my email in case you want to send a positive letter, a positive note, even just to say hi. That is Distant Traumas with the S podcast at gmail.com. That's Distant Traumas with the S podcast at gmail.com. Reading these letters and hearing the things that he has to say is a bit draining, so I do apologize. And it makes me sick to my stomach. But I always end in a scripture, and this week it is Isaiah 26:4. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord. Trust in the Let me read that again. I'm sorry. Isaiah 26:4. Trust in the Lord forever. The Lord himself is the rock eternal. Until next time, be blessed. Have a safe week. Pray, because prayer does changes things. And now I have to go somewhere and get my mental back together for today. Love you. Bye.
We'll work it out. Sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it out. One thing I know, one thing I found, one thing I know, one thing I found, one thing